So guys, the crypto markets are dumping right now. We are seeing pretty much the market see massive deviations with overall exactly where we're seeing, Bitcoin and Ethereum range. Right now, everyone's calling for more deviations based off of where we're currently sitting. Bitcoin dominance hit that 65% zone. And right now, guys, we're seeing a little bit of, escalations with Iran and Israel, a little bit of talks of negotiations potentially. And this is where, we need to see exactly what's going to be happening over the weekend moving into next week. The U.S. markets closed in a mixture of green and red, so right now there's mixed sentiment and everything is pretty much dumping and trading sideways. And today I want to walk you through the price action we're currently seeing, what's anticipated for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and altcoins, and overall exactly what you need to be aware of. But if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and everything you need to be aware of. So with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So guys, like how I said, the crypto markets have been deviating today. Bitcoin's currently sitting at around 103,000. Yesterday we were sitting at around 104, 105,000. Ethereum is currently sitting at around 2,400. We were sitting at around 25, almost 2,600 for Ethereum yesterday. And right now, guys, we're seeing massive deviations across the market. All coins are also crashing following the price action around Ethereum. And then from here, guys, we can see Bitcoin dominance actually broke that 65% zone, which we were anticipating to happen by the end of the week. And right now is already showing that it has broken that zone and 66% is on the horizon. You can also see, guys, that USDT dominance is shooting up, pointing to the fact that everyone is skeptical based off of the price action we're currently seeing, and everyone's slowly reallocating back into stable coins and Bitcoin. But right now, guys, crypto analysts and traders are talking about specific zones that we're currently seeing with Bitcoin and altcoins, and I want to go ahead and walk you through these specific zones and what's anticipated based off of exactly what's happening. We also have some updates with Iran's foreign minister talking about some discussions across with diplomacy, and then from there we have Trump talking crap about Jerome Powell, a few other different things. But we'll jump into those news events here at the end. I want to walk you guys through the important information around price action with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So right now, reached the level to do spot buys on Bitcoin as liquidations took place, and you guys can see we hit that specific zone, and we were anticipating these deviations with the imbalance that we saw over here, and basically overall, guys, it has been teeter-tottering based off of the global economic events, as well as overall deviations that we've been seeing in multiple other markets as well, and how other markets are pretty much responding with oil, gold, and a few other different things. But right now, jumping back into it, he says now the primary question is whether Bitcoin can go back above 106,000. That's the key zone everyone has been talking about. Moving into that, if it grinds back, that would be the ultimate breakout towards a new all-time high. If not, buy sub 100K is the next step. So even Crypto Mitch is talking about how we could be seeing a rip up back to that 106,000, but that's pretty much resistance right now. And if we don't break it, more than likely we could be seeing more deviations for Bitcoin. Justin Bennett also clarified this about a few hours ago, talking about exactly what we were seeing. He says buyers got trapped. Hope you guys didn't fall for this. No change. And you can see, guys, right here in the previous chart he was showing, we didn't see those deviations yet, but everything was just waiting to see. And we saw that higher wick, pretty much just, squeezing out that imbalance, going back to that liquidity. And then from there, as you guys can see, moving back into the post we were originally in, you can see that the deviations have occurred. And he believes that more than likely we're going to be deviating much more, just based off of specific zones with altcoins, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Right here, he talks about the total chart and exactly where we could be seeing deviations look very similar to Bitcoin right before we saw that huge deviation. And, altcoins are a little bit slow to the punch following the price action with Ethereum. So total remains below its mid-range on a daily closing basis. As long as this is true, Bitcoin and Ethereum remain at risk for further losses. Simple. So, guys, right now, based off of this prediction and this imbalance zone that we're currently seeing, an area grab of liquidity, more than likely we're going to be seeing deviations for altcoins still. So buckle up and get ready for more deviations in the market. And this is where potentially you could start shorting the market, guys, be able to make some decent gains by being able to play the markets even whenever they're crashing down. But based off of specific sentiment, everyone thinks that more than likely we're going to be seeing more deviations. Now, Benjamin Cohen talks about how exactly we hit 65% with Bitcoin dominance, and now we're hitting to 66. And then he goes on to talk talk crap about anyone that's shilling low cap gems like myself. It says investing should be boring. The guys flashing the 100x low cap gem calls and hating on Bitcoin dominance are just blowing smoke. And this is a good post just because it's super important, guys, to follow the price action around Bitcoin dominance. It lets us know when liquidity pours back into altcoins, and overall exactly whenever a shift in sentiment could change. This is where I give you guys a long-term perspective on currently what we're seeing with Bitcoin dominance when it rallied super hard and then had the massive deviation, and that's what pretty much allowed altcoins to run significantly crazy, guys, in the previous runs. Right now my chart is not wanting to generate, but you guys get the gist whenever we see liquidity pour back into the correct assets. And then the Kobes letter gives us a little bit of updates of what's happening with Iran. Iran's foreign minister says Iran is ready to consider diplomacy. He also says a serious and respectful discussion was had today. So this is a little bit bullish, but at the end of the day, if we don't have a deal, it's not really bullish. We need more concrete information rather than just someone saying there was a serious and respectful discussion. So to me, this means absolutely nothing. And jumping more into it, pretty much Trump was talking crap about the Fed chair Jerome Powell. He called him a numbskull, a dumb guy, a Trump hater, and then he said he could be saving the US $1 trillion per year. And then he said, though, that he will change his mind potentially about firing him. So he's not really making any sense there. But this is moving into July, where everyone's anticipating that we could be seeing rate cuts much sooner than later. And if that's the case, guys, we could be seeing the ease in the markets that we truly need to see, alongside with if we see global tensions start to die down with a deal that gets put into place. But overall, guys, swiping everything to the side, that is currently what is taking place in the crypto markets. Everything is deviating quite significantly based off of specific zones that we're seeing with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with the total 3 chart. It's really pointing to the fact that we're going to be seeing more deviations. Now, the US market closed pretty positively today, but at the end of the day, that's not enough information. We also don't have, full positive confirmation of this, huge fiasco that's happening with Israel and Iran. As a result, we need more confirmation if Trump is going to be pulling the United States into that conflict, or if we're going to be seeing a peace deal come over and then we're not even going to have to jump into that whole fiasco. But right now, guys, everything is trading sideways. The best thing you can do is dollar cost average into key assets that you believe in and wait for liquidity to pour back in. All eyes are on Q3 in July, whenever the Fed is potentially going to be doing rate cuts. On top of that, whenever we could be seeing a deal come through with all the tariffs, and also with the war that's taking place with Israel and Iran. Multiple different things, guys, that are going in and out. So on top of that, we have the other war with Ukraine and Russia that a lot of people have already forgot about. There's a lot of things, guys, and so there's so many different things that need to be resolved before we start to see liquidity pour back into our altcoins. But on this channel, I keep you guys updated with all the information and how everything pours out, so you don't have to be shuffling through all the garbage information that's out there. So if you're new to my channel, check out the rest of my content. I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events, price action on Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and exactly what you need to be aware of to make those crazy gains. At the end of the day, guys, right now is about keeping up with the price action, news events, dollar cost averaging, and having patience. No one has patience. No one believes in the altcoin cycle anymore, just because the 4-year cycle has already been thrown out the window, and as a result, everyone thinks that we're going to just be seeing massive deviations. I don't think that's the case. I think it's a matter of time, and on this channel, I can't wait to have a video showing you guys how everything has already exploded. But it's just a matter of time. Make sure you guys stay tuned. I drop day-to-day content every day, so make sure you guys drop me a comment, like, subscribe. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, drop them down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.